Did you know that greenhouses can extend the growing season of your plants by up to 3 months? Yes, you heard it right. Greenhouses are not just a trend, they're a game changer. They offer an array of benefits that can revolutionize your gardening experience. Imagine having a shield, a protective layer around your precious plants, guarding them against the whims of Mother Nature. Harsh weather conditions, be it scorching heat or freezing cold, a greenhouse can withstand it all. It's like a personal bodyguard for your plants, fending off unwanted pests and helping to prevent diseases. But that's not all. A greenhouse can also increase your plant's growth rate and productivity. It provides a controlled environment where your plants can thrive, free from stress and adversity. It's like a wellness center for your plants, where they can grow and flourish, reaching their full potential. Imagine the abundance of fresh vegetables and flowers you could have all year round. Isn't that exciting? Now, the first step in building a greenhouse is finding the perfect spot. This is a critical step and one that shouldn't be taken lightly. Why, you might ask? Because the location of your greenhouse will significantly impact the health and productivity of your plants. Let's start with sunlight. Plants need light to photosynthesize, which is how they create their food. A greenhouse should ideally be positioned in a location that receives at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day. East or south-facing locations are typically best as they catch the morning sun, which helps to kickstart your plant's photosynthesis process for the day. Next, we need to consider drainage. If you've ever overwatered a houseplant, you'll know that plants don't like to have wet feet. The same applies to your greenhouse. Choosing a slightly elevated location or improving the soil drainage can prevent water from pooling around the base of your greenhouse, which can lead to problems like root rot and fungal diseases. Access to water and electricity is also important. Your plants will need regular watering, and depending on the climate, you may need to install heating or cooling systems. So ensure your greenhouse is within reach of a water source and electrical supply. Speaking of climate, it's also vital to tailor your location choice to your specific climate conditions. In cooler climates, you might want to position your greenhouse near a wall or fence that can provide some extra heat. In contrast, in hotter climates, you might need to consider some shade to protect against the intense afternoon sun. Lastly, don't forget about convenience. You'll be visiting your greenhouse regularly, so make sure it's in a spot that's easy for you to access. Remember, location is key. Choose wisely and your plants will thank you. So take your time. Consider these factors and you'll be well on your way to choosing the perfect location for your greenhouse. Next, you'll need to select the right materials for your greenhouse. The choice of materials for your greenhouse frame and covering is crucial in determining not only its durability, but also the type of vegetation it can support. Let's start with the frame. Frames are typically made from wood, aluminum, or PVC. Wood, though aesthetically pleasing and strong, requires regular maintenance to prevent rot and insect damage. However, it's a great choice if you're going for a rustic vibe. On the other hand, aluminum frames are lightweight, robust, and resistant to rust, making them a practical option. Despite being pricier than wood, they offer longevity and require minimal maintenance. PVC frames are the most affordable. They're lightweight and easy to assemble. However, they may not be as durable and could be susceptible to UV damage over time. Now let's talk about the covering materials. The most common ones are glass, polycarbonate, and polyethylene plastic. Glass, while traditional and beautiful, tends to be expensive and fragile. However, it allows maximum light penetration, which is excellent for plant growth. Polycarbonate, a type of plastic, is an excellent alternative to glass. It's lighter, virtually unbreakable, and offers excellent heat retention. It can be a bit pricier than other plastics, but is more durable and provides better insulation. Lastly, polyethylene plastic is the most cost-effective option. It's lightweight and easy to install. However, it doesn't last as long as the other options and may need to be replaced every few years. In selecting the right materials, consider your budget, the climate in your area, and the types of plants you wish to grow. Remember, no single material is the best. Each has its own set of advantages and disadvantages, so take your time. Do your research. Consider your unique situation and choose the materials that will best suit your needs. The right materials will provide the best environment for your plants and ensure the longevity of your greenhouse. Once you've gathered your materials, it's time to construct the frame. This is the moment where your greenhouse begins to take shape. With careful attention to detail and a little elbow grease, you'll soon see your dream greenhouse standing tall and proud. Let's break down the process. We'll start with the base. It's critical to ensure your base is sturdy and level. If your base is off, even by a smidgen, it can throw off your entire structure. So take out your spirit level and let's make sure everything is straight and level. Next, we'll move on to the vertical columns. These are the pillars of your greenhouse and they need to be strong and secure. Drive them deep into the ground for maximum stability. Remember, your columns need to withstand wind, rain, and the weight of the greenhouse itself. So don't skimp on their stability. Once your columns are in place, it's time to add the horizontal bars. These bars will connect your columns together, creating a strong, interconnected network of support for your greenhouse. Each bar should be firmly attached to the columns, creating a grid-like structure. Now you might be wondering, how do I secure my frame to the ground? Well, there are a few ways to do this. One popular method is to use ground anchors. These are like large screws that you drive into the ground and they provide a firm, secure hold. Another option is to use concrete footings. These are a bit more work, but they provide an incredibly sturdy base for your frame. Lastly, remember to double-check all your connections. A loose screw or a wobbly column could compromise the integrity of your greenhouse, so take the time now to ensure everything is tight and secure. In building your frame, you're creating the backbone of your greenhouse. It's the structure that will support your plants, protect them from the elements, and provide a nurturing environment for them to thrive. So make it count. A solid frame is the backbone of your greenhouse. Make sure it's sturdy and well anchored. Your plants are counting on it, and so are you. With the frame complete, it's time to install the covering. Whether you're using glass, plastic, or another material, the covering is what will keep your plants safe from harsh weather conditions and help regulate the temperature within your greenhouse. First off, let's talk about materials. Glass is a classic choice, offering a clean, traditional look. It allows for excellent light transmission, but keep in mind, it can be more costly and harder to install. Plastic, on the other hand, is a more economical choice. It's lightweight, versatile, and easier to work with. There are also options like polycarbonate or polyethylene, each with their own pros and cons. So choose the one that best fits your needs and budget. Once you've decided on your material, it's time to get down to the installation. The process will vary slightly depending on the material you've chosen, but the general idea remains the same. Start by measuring the panels against the frame of your greenhouse. Remember, it's always better to have a little extra than to come up short. After measuring, cut your panels to size, but be careful. We don't want any accidents. Next, it's time to secure the panel to the frame. If you're using glass, you'll need to use clips or glazing bars. For plastic or other materials, you might use screws or special greenhouse tape. The main idea here is to ensure the covering is firmly attached to the frame without any gaps or loose areas. Remember, the covering is the barrier between your precious plants and the outside world, so take your time and make sure it's secure. This is not a step to rush. Finally, check your work. Make sure all the panels are secure, and there are no gaps where air or water could get in. This is your last line of defense against the elements, so it's worth double-checking. Your greenhouse is now taking shape. Let's move on to the inside. With the covering installed, we're one step closer to a flourishing greenhouse, filled with lush, healthy plants. But there's still more to do, so stay tuned as we continue on our greenhouse journey. Now let's set up the interior for optimal plant growth. The interior of your greenhouse is a world of its own, a carefully orchestrated ecosystem where every element plays a crucial role. Let's dive in and see how we can make it perfect for your plants. First things first, let's talk about the layout. You want to ensure that your plants get ample sunlight, so arrange your plants in shelves strategically. Place taller plants and shelves towards the back or sides of your greenhouse to avoid shading smaller plants. Make sure you leave enough space for walkways. You'll need these to move around, tend to your plants, and perform essential maintenance tasks. Next, consider the ventilation. A well-ventilated greenhouse ensures a healthy exchange of gases, helping your plants to breathe easy. You can achieve this by installing vents in the roof or sides of your greenhouse. These can be manually operated or automated, depending on your preference and budget. Now let's talk about temperature. Maintaining the right heat levels is crucial for your plant's survival and growth. Depending on your location and the types of plants you're growing, you may need to install a heating system for the colder months. Look for a system that allows you to control the temperature easily and efficiently. Watering is another critical aspect of setting up your greenhouse. Some plants prefer a light mist, while others need a good soaking. A versatile watering system that can cater to these different needs is a valuable asset. You can opt for a hose, a sprinkler system, or even a drip irrigation system, depending on the size of your greenhouse and the types of plants you're growing. Lastly, Don't forget about the lighting. While sunlight is the best source of light for your plants, you may need supplemental lighting during shorter winter days or for plants that require more light. Remember, every plant is unique. They have their own likes and dislikes, their own comfort zones, so don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for your greenhouse. With the interior set up, your greenhouse is nearly ready. There's just one more step to go. Finally, it's time to plant your seeds and start maintaining your greenhouse. This is the moment we've been working towards, and it's where the magic truly begins. Let's start by planting your seeds and seedlings. The process is somewhat similar to planting in an outdoor garden. You'll want to carefully place your seeds or seedlings in the soil, ensuring they have ample space to grow. Remember, overcrowded plants can lead to disease and poor yield, so give them room to breathe. Now, on to watering. This is a critical step because too much or too little water can be detrimental to your plants. The key is to keep the soil consistently moist, but not waterlogged. A good rule of thumb is to water thoroughly and then allow the top inch of soil to dry out before watering again. Next, let's talk about fertilizing. Your plants need nutrients to grow, and fertilizing is how we provide them. You'll want to use a balanced fertilizer that provides all the necessary nutrients and apply it according to the package instructions. Pruning is also an important part of greenhouse maintenance. It helps to control the size of your plants, encourages healthy growth, and can even increase your yield. A sharp pair of pruning shears is all you need to get started. Remove any dead or diseased leaves and trim back overly vigorous growth to maintain balance in the plant. Lastly, we need to discuss pest control and disease prevention. Greenhouses can unfortunately be a haven for pests and diseases. Regularly inspect your plants for signs of trouble and take action at the first sign of infestation or disease. There are many organic and chemical solutions available, but it's always best to start with the least harmful methods and escalate if necessary. Congrats! You've built a greenhouse. Now, the joy of gardening awaits. The journey may be long, but it's a rewarding one. With patience, care, and a bit of green thumb, you'll be enjoying the fruits and vegetables of your labor in no time. Building a greenhouse may seem daunting, but with these steps, it's manageable and rewarding. We've journeyed together through the entire process, from understanding the advantages of a greenhouse to the final touch of plant maintenance. Let's quickly recap what we've accomplished. We started by choosing the perfect location, considering factors such as sunlight, wind, and accessibility. Next, we delved into the materials, discussing the pros and cons of various options like glass, polycarbonate, and polyethylene. Then we moved on to constructing the frame, a crucial step that sets the foundation for our greenhouse. Once our solid frame was ready, we installed the covering, ensuring it was secure and snug. After that, we shifted our focus to the interior, deliberating on the arrangement of benches, shelves, heating, and irrigation systems. Lastly, we dived into the exciting world of planting and maintenance, providing our plants with the necessary care and attention they deserve. Each of these steps, though detailed, is an essential part of the bigger picture. A thriving, productive greenhouse that can sustain your love for gardening throughout the year, regardless of the season. Having a greenhouse is more than just an avenue for growing plants. It's a space where you can connect with nature, find peace, and experience the joy of watching your hard work bloom into life. It's a sanctuary where you can escape the hustle and bustle of daily life, a private oasis that's uniquely yours. So whether you're growing juicy tomatoes, vibrant flowers, or exotic herbs, the greenhouse is your canvas, and you're the artist. Paint it with the colors of your choice. Experiment with different plant varieties. Create a space that reflects your personality and gardening style. The world of gardening is vast and beautiful, and having your own greenhouse is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore and learn. If you found this video helpful and want more gardening tips, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Happy gardening!